Hey Truth Seekers, it's Nathaniel with another deck profile. Today I will be covering Yana, Love, and Holy Spirit. So starting off with, Yana has the ability that says every city revealed to you has its base defense reduced by 2 points. So we are going to be running 5 Love and 3 Holy Spirit. I'm choosing to run such a high number of Love because I mostly use Love Animo. And I only run 3 Holy Spirit power because I only need to see at least one in order to activate the whole one of the Holy Spirits, because no Holy Spirit animal has like double Holy Spirit. So I have 8 total power. And moving on, we are going to be going over our equipment cards. Start with, we have 3 Pulse Chains. Pulse Chains is a standard equipment that goes in every deck. The Animo that it's attached to can't be activated, but you can discard that Animo during the score phase, during the setup phase. And then once per turn, as long as this card is attached to an Animo in your small group, you may search your deck for up to 2 level 1 Animo and place them in your small group. And then we have 3 tools of the trade. So we are going to try and be, while we're decreasing defense, we're going to try and increase our Animo's virtue points. So the Love Animal to whom this card is attached gains 2 virtue points, but when activated against a Cine, it gains 4 virtue points instead. Very helpful. Because Yana doesn't benefit a whole lot from having Cines in play and just helps you defeat them, we are going to be running Giant Killer and Pause Maws, which based on the deck, sometimes I choose not to run these. And what Pause Maws does is it allows your opponent can't play a Cine on you the turn you play this, but you remove all copies of this card from the game after that turn. And then Giant Killer says you can either play a Cine from your deck, or you can you can play a Mega Cine from your deck, or you can remove a Mega Cine that you're facing and return it to the owner's deck. Because this deck runs a lot of growth, we are running 2 Mustard Seed and 1 Ascension. So as long as we can get the level 1 out there, we can discard 2 cards from our hand to go straight into the level 3 with Mustard Seed, or straight into the level 2. And then for Ascension, you may skip 1 growth stage this turn, and if you have a level 2, you can place it directly in your small group, or if you have a level 3, you can place it directly onto a level 1 of the same Animo. This card basically just allows you to skip a growth stage. This really helps. And then for our Cines, we have Flipper, who has a 7 defense, or if your opponent has 40 or more points, becomes 17 defense. So we got a big Cine. We have Refrigerator, who says your opponent may not use any love powers from their power pool or Truth Seeker on their next turn, including Love from Prayer. Have Tolkro, which says as long as this card is active, your opponent may not use any special power cards from their power pool to activate Animo. And we have Grumble, who's a 13 defense Cine. We have Zapper King Mega, who's a 16 defense Cine. Plant Trap Mega, who's a 16 defense Cine. And Tolkro Mega Plus, which is a 21 defense Cine. So instead of focusing on Cine that has actions or abilities to hinder my opponent, I just focused on Cines that had really high defense. It's just a different Cine strategy. Next up, I run some off-color cards, which are Hoof It and Hightail. Hoof It allows me to shuffle up to 3 cards from my discard pile back into my deck. Hightail has the retreat ability, which says I can take Hightail and shuffle Hightail back into my deck so I can draw 3 cards. Now moving on to our Holy Spirit Animo, we have 2 Raspberry, who has the Love Fellowship bonus to become a 2 for 7, which is decent value. And then we have Prayer Gwen, who has the ability to essentially pose as a power card that's either Faith, Hope, or Love during the score phase. I think there are a couple plays in this deck where I can use, where I need like 7 power cards to activate my Animo, and Prayer Gwen can fill in that gap. Next up, we have our Hybrid line, Hybrid level 1, who grows into Hybrid level 2. Hybrid level 2 searches my deck for a standard power card and places it directly in my power pool. Hybrid is extremely beneficial because he basically allows me to, he doesn't have to be activated in order to get me a power card. And then Hybrid level 3 Hybrid level 3, when he's activated, I search my deck for 2 Virtuous Animo that are either level 2 or level 3. So what he does is he helps me get my level 2s and level 3s. And that's because this deck the Truth Seeker doesn't have an innate ability like Sadie or Simon to go grab cards. So Hybrid helps fill in that gap. That's Hybrid level 3. And for our Ultra, we have Todoken Ultra, who's just a 2 for 10. Moving on to our Love Animo, we have 2 Akinleo. Akinleo has the action that says you may search your deck for 1 Faith, Hope, or Holy Spirit power card, add to your power pool. So where I use Hybrid level 2 to grab my Love, I can use this one to go grab my Holy Spirit power cards. Then I have Potpourris, so that way I can ignore the actions of my opponent's Cinis. I have Servitude, who once per turn can let me draw 1 card for each Faith, Hope, or Holy Spirit animal in my small group. Now, I'm also going to be running 3 Saltini level 1s. And I have 2 Red Letter Day Saltinis, who has the ability that when this is grown to a level 1 Saltini, you get to return your active Cine to the hand of the player who revealed it to you. So basically, and he also has a 2 for 11 Virtue Points value with his Fellowship bonus, which is really good. And just because he has that Virtue Point power for 14, I'm running 1 Cross Trainer Saltini. This way I can get rid of Cinis and turn them to the hand. And then I can also use this Saltini to just gain a lot of points. Next up, we have Kelbecca, level 1. It says when this card is played from your hand into your small group, you may draw 1 card. And it grows into Kelbecca level 2, who's just a 1 for 4. And Kelbecca level 3, who is a 1 for 10. It also has the ability that says as long as this card is in your small group, any animal you activate against an active Cine gains 3 Virtue Points. So, with Yana reducing 2 defense of the Cine, and Tools of the Trade increasing it by 4, and she in Kelbecca increasing the Virtue Points by 3, you have a total value of 9 when you go up against a Cine. That's pretty powerful. So that's why we're choosing to run Kelbecca in this deck. And then to wrap up our Ultras, we are using Flow Ultra, so we can use its swap effect to discard it from our small group, search our deck for any 3 Animo, and add it to our hand. And then finally we have Opapani Ultra, that has the ability as long as this card remains in your small group, your win condition for defeating Cinis is reduced by 1. So ideally, because we're focused so heavily on defeating Cinis, we might as well go ahead and get a little benefit by changing up our win con right at the last second. So if your opponent keeps revealing Cinis on you, and you're just, mowing them down because of Yana and Tools of the Trade and Kelbecca, if you defeat 5 Cinis, then you can just go ahead and play Opapani Ultra, and suddenly just win the game. So, anyways, this has been my Yana deck profile for Love and Holy Spirit. In the meantime, Truth Seekers, keep learning virtues and defeating Cinis.